Picture this. A lion, the king of the savannah, crouches low in the tall golden grass. A few meters away, a 9-foot-tall bird with legs like sledgehammers stares back. No claws, no teeth, just raw speed and the deadliest kick in the animal kingdom. Now here's where it gets strange. In some parts of Africa, these two actually do cross paths. And when they do, it's not always the lion that walks away the winner. Yeah, you heard that right. The king of beasts, humbled by a bird. But how is that even possible? And what happens when feathers meet fangs in the wild? Let's dive into one of nature's weirdest matchups, the ostrich versus the lion. Don't blink yet. Hit subscribe, because the wildest battles in nature are just getting started. If someone told you a bird could take on a lion, you'd probably laugh. Because we've all grown up with one rule burned into our heads: the lion always wins. The mane, the roar, the muscles, it's practically nature's logo for domination. Meanwhile, the ostrich? It looks like someone glued a turkey to a pair of stilts and gave it an identity crisis. But here's the thing. Nature doesn't care about looks. It cares about survival. And survival comes in some very strange forms. Imagine this. You're an ostrich in the blazing heat of the African savannah. You don't have claws. You can't fly. Everything wants to eat you. So what do? You turn your legs into weapons of mass destruction. Because those long, silly-looking legs, they can deliver a kick strong enough to shatter a lion's jaw, or even kill it. So before we laugh at the bird, maybe we should get to know it. Because this feathered freak might just be one of the most underrated badasses in the wild. Chapter 1. The Speed Demon. Let's start with what the ostrich is famous for: speed. This bird can sprint up to 70 kilometers per hour. That's faster than most motorcycles on a dirt road. A lion? It can reach about 80 kilometers per hour, but only for a few seconds. Think of it like a drag racer. Explosive at the start, but burns out quick. The ostrich, on the other hand, is a marathon sprinter. It can keep that speed up for miles. It's like comparing a boxer to a track star. Sure, the boxer hits hard, but good luck catching the guy who never stops running. There's a reason ostriches evolved this way. They live in open plains, no trees, no hiding spots. Their best defense is seeing danger coming from miles away and booking it. And those giant eyes? They're the size of billiard balls. Bigger than a lion's, even bigger than their own brains. They can spot a threat from over 3 kilometers away. So before the lion even crouches for a sneak attack, the ostrich already knows what's coming. But what happens when the lion actually gets close enough to pounce? That's when the real fight begins. 2. The kick of doom. When cornered, the ostrich doesn't run. It turns around fast. And that's when those legs come into play. Each kick can hit with a force over 2,000 pounds per square inch. That's enough to crush bone. In fact, park rangers have reported lions backing off after a single blow. Not because they were defeated, but because they realized this bird isn't prey. Imagine trying to grab something that can kick like a horse and slice like a blade. At the end of each ostrich toe is a massive claw, about 2 inches long. It's like a dagger on each foot. And when that dagger connects with a lion's chest or jaw, things get ugly. But let's be fair, lions aren't dumb. They're patient hunters. And when hunger kicks in, patience becomes deadly. So let's flip the story. What if the lion gets the upper hand? 3. The hunter's gamble. Picture this. A lioness spots an ostrich from a distance. She crouches, silent, waiting for the right moment. She's not just hunting for herself. Her cubs depend on this. The ostrich grazes, completely unaware. The wind shifts. The lion moves. 10 seconds of stillness. 5 seconds of tension. And then, explosion. The lion charges. The ground trembles. The ostrich bolts. In seconds, it's a full-speed chase across the savannah. For a few heart-stopping moments, the lion closes in. Dust clouds rise. The ostrich zigzags wildly. But here's where it gets interesting. While the lion's sprinting speed is faster, its stamina fades in seconds. Within 200 meters, the ostrich is already pulling away. The lion pants, slows, and gives up. For the ostrich, survival isn't about fighting, it's about endurance. For the lion, it's about precision. So when lions do win, it's because they pick their battles wisely. They strike from cover, usually with help from the pride. And when that happens, even the mighty ostrich stands little chance. But that's not the end of the story, because sometimes the ostrich fights back in ways that even nature didn't plan for. Chapter 4: The Unexpected Hero. Here's something few people know. Ostriches are among the most protective parents in the animal kingdom. When predators get too close to their nest, the male ostrich, yes, the male, goes full gladiator mode. He'll puff up his feathers, hiss like a snake, and charge straight at lions, jackals, even humans. There are recorded cases where male ostriches have successfully defended their chicks against lions by pretending to be injured. They'll lure the predator away from the nest, flailing and limping dramatically, basically acting like they're in a wildlife soap opera, just to save their young. It's both hilarious and brilliant, and it shows just how clever these birds really are. Now, you might be wondering, with all these advantages, speed, vision, power, does the ostrich ever actually kill a lion? Well, that's where the wild truth kicks in. Chapter 5: The Twist. In the rare real-world encounters we've documented, ostriches have indeed injured lions, sometimes fatally. But here's the twist. Most of the time, neither side wins. Because in the savannah, survival isn't about who's strongest, it's about who walks away. When an ostrich sees a lion, it runs. When a lion sees an ostrich that's not running, it hesitates. Both know the risk. A lion can't afford a broken jaw. It means starvation. An ostrich can't afford a torn muscle. It means death by exhaustion. So nature's secret rule? They both back off. It's not a fight of dominance. It's a duel of respect. That's the poetic part of this bizarre matchup. In a world where everything is constantly trying to prove strength, sometimes the smartest move is not to fight at all. The final chapter: Lion versus Ostrich. So who really wins between the ostrich and the lion? It depends on what you call winning. If victory means walking away alive, then both are champions. If victory means outsmarting your enemy, well, maybe the bird takes the crown this time. Because while the lion rules with power, the ostrich rules with precision, vision, and speed. One hunts, the other endures. And both remind us that survival in nature isn't always about muscle, it's about mastery. But now I've got to ask you, if you were stranded on the savannah and you saw a lion charging at you from one side and an angry ostrich from the other, which direction are you running? Drop your answer in the comments. I need to know if you'd rather face claws or kicks. And if this wild showdown made your heart race, you're going to love what's next. In our next episode, we're diving into another nature mystery that makes this one look tame. What happens when the world's deadliest snake meets the animal that refuses to die? You don't want to miss it. This is Beje Virgo TV, where nature's strangest battles get wilder every week. So hit that subscribe button before the next showdown begins. And remember, stay curious, stay wild, and definitely stay out of kicking range.